Good afternoon, it's Mark Larson talking about COVID-19 in Kittitas County. Have one new patient positive today, young person doing well. The rest of our patients are doing well, and we are moving forward into phase 3. Hopefully, our application went in at 4:15 yesterday afternoon. So that's 24 hours later. We have not heard back yet, and we have no idea when we'll hear, but it's likely to be next week sometime. If it comes out earlier than that, we will get out a press release as soon as it gets out. So that's a big thanks to all of you who are doing good things, staying at home, washing your hands, wearing masks or face coverings. So we are continuing to ask that. Moving into phase 3 is not a get out of jail free card, but the virus is still there. Don't just look here in Kittitas County, but please look in Yakima County because things are really hot down there in regards to COVID-19. So we are looking out for our neighbors. A lot of our folks who live here work in Yakima, and a lot of folks from Yakima that live in Yakima work up here. So they are our neighbors and our friends, and we need to work together because otherwise we're not gonna get through this. So uncertain as to how long phase 3 will last, minimum of 3 weeks, but nobody really thinks it'll just be 3 weeks, and there are no criteria yet for moving into phase 4. So all of the schools, the college, the rodeo, the fair, they are all moving forward with the thoughts that we're still going to be in phase 3, and if we're lucky and are in phase 4, then their planning is much easier. But everyone's kind of planning that we're going to be in phase 3 until we have a vaccine. So let's go to questions.
As we're shut down due to the dangers of the pandemic, what is the safer option, to open schools that have student capacity or to open schools with all students back all day? Is the virus more contagious and likely to spread when there are more people in one room, or does that matter in regard to the likelihood of direct infection?
Yeah, that's a great question. Indoors is worse than outdoors. So that's the first thing. And the longer we are around somebody who is sick, and the closer we are to them, the more likelihood that we have infection. So that's why they're moving students apart. They're having students wear a mask. There's consideration of having multiple small groups of classes. Getting school started is really difficult. As I had said, masking at this point is a requirement for school to start. What's going to be there? Where are we going to be at in September? We don't really know, but that's the parameters that we have to work with currently. So a larger class with less children would certainly be better. Having an outdoor event like we had last weekend with a political rally, that was outside. That's better than having something inside. So we will just keep working on that and working on the plans to open schools.
Woodland Park Zoo is opening back up in July. Kittitas County might be in phase 3. Not sure about Seattle. Would this be safe to attend?
Yeah, so Seattle most likely will not be in phase 3 in July. Just like Yakima is not going to be in phase 3 in July. We will be in phase 3 next week. I'm sure of that. So the key is following the guidelines of the counties that you are in. So if they are not in phase 3, I'm going to say so. If they are not in phase 3, it'll be groups of 5 or less. So if you went with your family, it would certainly be safe. Washing hands, wearing masks while you're outside. As you probably noticed that in California, the governor made a masking mandate for the whole state. So anytime people are outside their house or outside their car, they need to be wearing a mask. So masks are helpful, and it would be safe if you follow those guidelines.
I teach dance and movement to children 2 to 12 years of age. I'm currently requiring students to wear masks while they're in their 45-minute to 1-hour class. What are your thoughts on this, and when do you think this requirement might not be necessary?
Yeah, right now masking is required. So if you want to kind of have an idea of how the guidelines are developed, they look at places in the state like Yakima. So it would be unlikely that masking requirements are not going to start going down until hotspots like Yakima start going down. So I would foresee, like with school, the masking requirements are going to be there until our numbers start going down. Hopefully in the fall, we won't have a resurgence. It's going to be complicated trying to figure out influenza versus COVID-19, but I think we've got masking requirements for a long time. So that's it for the questions. Have a good Father's Day weekend. Make sure to call your dad, and be safe, be kind, wear a mask when you're out, and realize that there are people out there that can't wear masks, and that's okay. Maintain social distancing, and we are not in phase 3 yet, so it's only groups of 5 people outside your household. So we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot.